Thank you, Kat. Now for a story that will literally halt anything you are doing right now. Living on a ventilator and battling a condition known as SMART 1, only one thing is certain, and that is that 8-year-old Luke has more courage than anyone I know. And added to that, the unending love, care and support that his family gives to him is something really incredible. And we went to spend some time with this very, very special family. Let's go take a look.
We're at the home of Luke de Villiers, a little boy who suffers from a rare condition called SMART 1. It inhibits the use of his diaphragm, and a ventilator is used to pump oxygen into Luke's lungs. Graham got to know the family.
Bro, I'm loving your man cave here. This is awesome. I'm guessing you love your Disney stuff. Who are your favorite characters out of all of these friends you've got adorning your walls?
Knuckles.
Knuckles. Let's give you Knuckles, actually. I'm going to put Knuckles right here. I dig Knuckles. There we go. And keep Knuckles right there.
With Luke, the major consideration with his condition is that being ventilator dependent, he needs to have somebody with him all the time. If he disconnects, then that becomes an emergency. At times in the past, we haven't had night nurses. In those situations, then I would stay up and look after him through the night. It became difficult then working, so I would work through the night with him, and that became the easiest way to kind of spend the night. And because of those stretches would go on for a while, then I decided to just move work home, and then that way also my wife can get out, then I'm at home as a backup for her.
But I would imagine a huge amount of adjustment to your lifestyle. Take us through your daily routine. What are some of those real big shifts that you've had to make?
It's had to be a routine. Try and, I don't know, create an environment where things can go smoothly. Very conscious of anticipating any possible complications in advance to make sure that they don't arise, and when they do, that we adequately prepared to deal with them like that. Were you off?
The alarm signifies that the ventilator is off, and it's critical that it's restored within 2 minutes. The whole family is attuned to the sound.
Looking at how relaxed you guys are when the beeps sound, when a potential emergency rises, my heart is sitting in my throat. You guys seem to just take it in your stride.
That's part of thinking through everything in advance, making sure that we have everything in place. It allows us to relax a lot more than we would if we weren't prepared.
Besides his parents, brother and nurses, Luke's dog Obelix never leaves his side. He's on guard and alert 24/7, a loyal companion and friend.
What's the best part about your day? What do you enjoy the most?
Put it this way, games, get games, get games, and games again. There's a game with Knuckles, and that is my favorite game.
Cool, you're gonna have to give me a bit of a masterclass just now, I think.
You met me and you be like you are my best friend. Can you play?
My bro, my channel.
Honorary brothers for a day. Luke has a bright sense of humor, and at the end of the day, he's just a kid who loves to play.
Now, of course, this is a massive undertaking that cannot happen without support. You guys have had help along the way. Take us through that.
When we were in hospital, we were obviously just sensory overload with the whole condition. We didn't know what it really meant. In the beginning, the prognosis was very bad. There was not a great chance of survival and all that kind of stuff to deal with. And then after a while, they realized that the ventilation could be a permanent thing and that he would be okay. Yeah, then we needed to get him home, and we had no idea how to do that. And there was a sister, Jane Booth at Red Cross. She's a guru at getting people on ventilators home or getting people with tracheostomies home, and she came and taught us everything. So it's this real practical training in terms of how to deal with these unusual situations. Most people would be too scared to even embark on what she's doing because of the risk that she's putting in people's hands, but she has this confidence about her that just makes you feel comfortable. And this is what she does. She takes people and takes them home instead of their children living in a hospital ward for the rest of their lives. Sometimes that's the alternative.
For many families and patients, Sister Jane Booth is a lifesaver. She runs the Breathe Easy program that has helped hundreds of children with tracheotomies return home.
One of the most wonderful things about my job is that I'm there in the beginning when it's really scary. And I'm there to guide them through those early times when they're afraid and they don't know what to do. And slowly but surely, they gain the confidence to be able to manage their own child. And that's the fulfilling part of my job. So we use some props to start off with, And these dolls have got tracheostomies, which is a little hole in the throat to breathe through, and they're attached to a machine. So if you can imagine that we have to attach the machine like that onto them, excepting that it's a biggish machine that the child's on that takes every breath for them. So the parents not only have to learn to look after their baby with a tracheostomy, but they need to learn to look after all this very, very involved intensive care equipment and how to look after it and what to do if it goes wrong.
Parents are given a book that explains the tracheotomy equipment and how to feed and bath their kids, giving them a little peace of mind.
There's a good ending for every story. We've just had to work around the equipment issues, and it's an expensive issue for us.
And I'm going to ask you to oversimplify now. What would be your one wish for children like Luke, children in his situation?
The most important thing is that children shouldn't live in hospital. That's not the right place for children. They should all be able to go home. And then in order to get home, they need this very expensive equipment. And it costs at least 100,000 Rand to send one child home on a ventilator.
There is a lot of love in this house, and I'm feeling the life lessons are now coming on very quickly for me. You must have learned a huge amount from this little soul. What are some of the lessons you've learned, Mary, from your experiences with Luke?
Probably to live every minute as if it's your last, and to just really appreciate absolutely everything around you.
And I would imagine you've learned a huge amount about Disney as well.
Absolutely. I think I've watched every single movie ever produced by Disney.
The support of the Breathe Easy programs helps families like the de Villiers take their children home, so these youngsters can have a little part of their childhood back.
By supporting the Flower Valley Conservation Trust, that's where we found goodness. Pick and Pay, always there for you.